Hey guys, this is Lady C, and I just wanted to come over today and let you know this day on June the 1st, 2020, that it is time to reboot. That's right, it's time to reboot. We need to reboot ourselves, which means we need to restart. We need to come out of the from being down in the dumps that we've been in. There's been so many things going on in this world. I mean, we've been in COVID-19 for about 3 months now. March, April, and May, and going on 4 months. And there are people that have lost their jobs. Financial hardship has been going on throughout the country. The kids have been out of school, not by choice, and it's just been really crazy. We've been having a lot of violence lately and a lot of protesting going on. There has been so many things happening in the spring of 2020, and a lot of people have really gotten discouraged even before the violence and the protesting. Just with COVID-19, loved ones have been dying and been going on, and it's just been depressing. Really, it's been depressing. It's been disheartening because you don't know what to do. All you can do is pray. Because all these things have been going on, I'm here to just give you a word of encouragement and just let you know it is time to reboot. That's right, it is time to reboot. And basically, rebooting is just restarting, reviving ourselves, being revived. And we can look at our bodies just like a computer. A computer have all these parts. You have the motherboard, which basically everything kind of connects to the motherboard. It's like the foundation, and then you have the CPU unit, which is mainly like the brain of the motherboard. It connects into the motherboard. You have the power supply. Now that connects into the motherboard, and it supplies all of your power to, you got your input and your output drives, your hard drive. So when it supplies all of those connections for you, things like the keyboard and the monitor, you need all of those things to work the computer. You have your hard drive, you have the memory, the RAM. You have all of these things going into a computer, but in order for it to work functionally, it needs all of the parts. You need all of the parts to a computer for it to work, to be functional. And if one little thing gets in that's negative, like if you waste water on the computer, if you drop food in between the keyboards, if dust gets on the computer, if the computer gets a virus, all of these things will cause the computer to crash without a doubt. And what we have to remember is our bodies are like computers. The main body, okay, that's your entire body. That's the main part. But then you have all of these other parts that connects to the body. And then you have people from the outside world trying to feed into the body. And if you bring in negativity in your life, if you start listening to other people, and if you start to do and feel pressure about what other people are saying, and you start doing negative things, you start overreacting, you not thinking clearly, your trust is leaving, your hope is leaving, your faith is leaving, all of these things coming from the outside, and it will cause your body to crash. So that's how we're just like computers. It will crash if there's negative things coming into it. So just like a computer has to reboot, then we have to reboot as well. So let's begin to reboot, because it's time. It is time to reboot. Okay, so I have 3 things to share with you about rebooting. When your body needs to reboot, that means it has crashed. It needs to be reloaded. It needs to get all of the unclean things removed from it because it is not working normal. It is basically needing a fresh start. It's needing to be cleaned out. Okay, so rebooting your body is just like rebooting the computer. It needs to be cleaned out. It has crashed. It's not working normal. So the 3 things that I have for you today, in order for you to be able to reboot properly, are seek meditation. Okay, so when you're seeking meditation, of course you can use the book of Psalms 119, and just read all of Psalms 119. It basically talks about meditation. When you're seeking meditation, you are going before the Lord, and you are praying, and you are not necessarily fasting, but you can fast too. But you're basically praying. You're studying. You're getting in His Word in the Bible. You are meditating on it. Once you find different scriptures that pertain to you, that gives you encouragement, that inspires you, that motivates you, that helps you keep your faith, then you meditate on them. You read it, and then you can just lay out before God. You can pray. You can meditate on those scriptures that you've read. You're studying God's word, so you're meditating. You're seeking God, and through that meditation, you begin to trust again. You rebuild your faith in God again. You are asking God to restore you. That's another form of rebooting, to be restored. So as you're seeking meditation, you are basically in His presence. You are doing Bible study. You are meditating. You are just basking in His glory. And what I mean by that is that you're just focusing on His awesome word, because it is His word, which is the Bible, that's going to revive you. Going to revive your soul, and it's going to help you get more better understanding, and it's going to give you direction as to how to move forward during this time. So the first one is to seek meditation, and you can look up Psalms, the book of Psalms 119, to seek meditation. The second one is to seek revival. Okay, and you can look at Mark chapter 5, starting at verse 21. I think 21 all the way through maybe 45. Okay, so in the book of Mark, it tells the story about Jesus getting off the boat. He went to the other side, and the people were all gathered around, and they were seeking Him. They was just kind of pulling for Him, and they wanted Him to come and heal them. And there were different people, of course, just trying to grab for Him, reach for Him. And there was a ruler of the synagogue named Jairus, or some people may say Jairus, but Jairus. And he said, Master, I have my daughter, she's dying. Can you come quick, come save her, come revive her. So he was seeking revival. And during this time, as he was headed towards Jairus' house, another woman came with the issue of blood. We all have heard that story, and she kind of distracted him because she, reached, that story. She tugged on him, she touched the hem of his garment, and that kind of paused everything for Jairus. And he was, so he healed the woman. He said, "This day you made whole." And then by that time, the people came towards the ruler of the synagogues, which was Jairus. They came and said, "Oh, don't trouble yourself now, trying to bother the father because your daughter is dead. It's too late. It's too late." But, Jesus heard them, and he said to Jairus, he said, Don't trouble yourself. Don't believe them. Just continue in your faith. So he continued to follow Jairus, and they went to his house, and then the people were there mourning and grieving and weeping, and just they were just all upset, and Jesus was saying, what in the world is going on? Why are y'all making all this commotion? Y'all so loud. Y'all, I mean, you're doing too much. And they started ridiculing Jesus. And he put them out. He put them out. And then he spoke life into the daughter. He spoke life into her, and she arose and she started walking around. Okay? She arose and she started walking around, and then he said, give us something to eat. So he spoke the word. He spoke life into her. He revived this little girl. So the man was seeking revival, and revival came forth. You have to seek it. You have to want to be a part of it. Seeking revival is because there's something that has to be awakened. There's something that has to be stirred up again. When you're seeking revival, there's something that has died in you. And that can come with the discouragement of what's going on in this world, the depression that's going on in your mind. So when you're seeking to regain life. You're seeking to regain consciousness. You're seeking to regain just strength. You may be so weak. You may be tired and worn, and you're just done. You're done. And you have to seek revival. So begin to look for it. Begin to arise as the little girl did, and start walking and start doing things and start looking for revival. Start looking for that strength. Start looking for to be alive again, to be conscious of it all, and seek positive things. Seek good things. And as you meditate, you're still seeking revival, because you're seeking a word from God. You're seeking direction. You don't want to let all of these things that's happening in the world today bring you down any more than what it has already done. You want to begin to be uplifted. You want to begin to be able to figure out how you can contribute positively and not negatively. You don't want people speaking in your mind, and you don't want people pressuring you to do things that are not good. You don't want to overreact to everything that's going on. You want to make sure you're making wise decisions. You need strength for that. You need to be revived for that. You need to meditate for that. You can't just go out hastily and make the wrong decisions. So seek meditation and seek revival. And the third thing is get rid of the dust. Get rid of the dust. Now, that's also going to come from Mark chapter 5. Same scriptures. And I'll tell you how. Okay, so think about the computer again. Remember I said that we are just like computers. And I said that if food and water gets in the computer, it's gonna crash. Well, when dust gets in the computer, it's not just one spark or one speck of dust. It's a buildup. So as dust falls, it builds and rebuilds, and it's a build up of collection of dust that gets into the computer. And as it gets into the computer and becomes a build-up, it begins to overheat. And that causes a major crash, because you can't really just dig the dust out of a computer. Now, a piece of crumb or a little water, you try to wipe that off, and you try to move the food, remove that real fast. But when dust gets in the computer, it causes a major breakdown, because it's overheating. it's overheating, and it's going to cause the computer to crash. Now, dust, the dust particles, like I said, sometimes it's not one, just like with us. Sometimes it's not one person. We can handle one person. One person being negative, we can push them away. When you have a collection of negative people coming at you, when you have a collection of particles, negative particles, just always sitting around on your shoulder, they're always there. They're feeding negative things into your mind. They're trying to put pressure on you to do things and overreact about things. They're trying to push you up to do things, and you're just going along, and you're not thinking. You just say, well, that's just, I know how to handle that one little thing. But it becomes, if you let it stay there long enough, it becomes an overload. It becomes a collection of particles. It becomes a buildup. Once it becomes a buildup, then you will crash. Your body will crash. So you have to make sure that you get rid of the dust. Now, again, in Mark chapter 5, remember there was 2 occasions where Jesus had to get rid of the dust. Do you remember? The first time when after he finished healing the woman with the issue of blood, then of course the people came, the naysayers, and they said, don't trouble yourself. She's already dead. Why are you bothering the Father? Let him be. Let him go. Let him heal someone else. She's dead. Why bother? And Jesus said, don't trouble yourself with them. Don't even believe them. He told Jairus to have faith. So he got rid of the dust out of Jairus' mind, from around him. He shooed out the negative thoughts. He got rid of the negative thoughts. He got rid of the negative people, and he moved on. So they continued to go on. So he got rid of the dust. Those are the negative particles that was trying to build up in his head, trying to tear him down, trying to make him lose his faith that he had for the revival. He went on to his house. Okay, there were people there, mourning, weeping, crying, down and out, boo-hooing, everything, because she was dead. God said, what is all this commotion about? And then they started to ridicule him. Guess what he did again? He got rid of the dust. He got rid of the dust. Get rid of the dust. He got rid of the dust. He put them out. He put them out of the home. So, and then what happened though? He was able to think clearly. He was able to concentrate. He was able to go about his business. He was able to connect his faith. He was able to do what he needed to do, which was speak life, so the revival could take place. When you get rid of the dust, you'll be able to speak life. You will be able to reboot from crashing. You will be able to become normal again because you're speaking life. You will be able to reconnect your faith. You will be able to rebuild your strength. You will be able to reload. You will be able to do all of these things through Christ Jesus. Just get rid of the dust. So I just wanted to share these 3 things with you to help you to reboot, because it's time to reboot. There's too much going on for us not to reboot. Okay? It's time to reboot. I know you're feeling down. I know that you are discouraged. I know that you may be disheartened at what is going on, but it is time to reboot. We have no time to wallow in pity, wallow in anger, and try to go out and do the wrong thing. We need to seek the Lord, and we need to seek him now, because we will end up doing the wrong thing. We will end up behaving inappropriately, because we don't have a sense of direction, because we're not seeking him. We don't have we have an understanding, but we need to get an understanding from God and how to react. to all of these things that's going on. You don't want to overreact. You don't want to lose your job. You don't want to end up being hurt or injured in protesting the wrong way. You need to know what to do. We still have COVID-19 going on. They have not cleared that. You need to be safe. So you need to understand it. You need to seek meditation. You need to seek revival. And you need to get rid of the dust. So that is the way to reboot. Okay? Seek meditation, seek revival, and get rid of the dust. It is time to reboot. And that's what I have for you today. And I just wanted to say, stay and be encouraged. And God bless you. And that is all for now. Be blessed. Bye-bye.